Today, my friend Sword and I are going to be surviving 200 days in a 1.17 Minecraft hardcore world. You guys loved the first 100 days, so we just had to do a sequel. If you guys would like to see a 300 days to this series, let me know down below in the comments and make sure to subscribe and leave a like. Before we get into the video, I just want to take the next couple of seconds to thank the sponsor of today's video, the Archon. I've played on the Archon for a few years now, and the server is jam-packed full of content, including custom game modes and updates coming out weekly. And there's actually a giveaway happening right now. If you go to shop.thearchon.net and click on free rank, enter your username, select a realm, and then enter my coupon code GUILTY, you can get a special rank that is worth $5 for free. So don't miss out on this. Be sure to join with the IP guilty.archonhq.net, and I can't wait to see you guys there. On day 101, Sword and I were back in our world. We did some very basic things today. We looked around at our builds to remember what we had done, and I decided to harvest some pumpkins. Then Sword showed me the new blocks in the snapshot that we were in. We were actually able to upgrade the snapshot of this server to have the most recent one. All the information on what snapshot it is will be down below in the description if you guys are interested. But Sword was able to show me some new blocks, which of course were really cool. These are all versions of deepslate, and I'm in love with the bricks. So we'll do some building with them later. After Sword showed me these amazing blocks, the next 2 days I spent mining for deepslate. I didn't even care about finding diamonds or any ores. I literally just wanted deepslate. I mined out an entire room and Sword did the same. By the end of this, I had a shulker and a full inventory full of deepslate. On day 104, I went back up to the surface. Well, hello there, sheep. And of course, I had to repair my pickaxe. Because it has mending on it, I can get XP to repair it. So I did a lot of trading with villagers to buy golden carrots and repair my pickaxe. I also did a little bit of organizing and farming today. And planning out some future builds. Day 105 was spent planting spruce trees and getting wood. I decided to make a really large spruce tree, so I took 4 saplings and bone mealed them, and it made a giant tree and also turned all of the surrounding grass into podzol. I thought this was pretty cool, and Sword actually really liked this. On day 106, I hit 59,000 subscribers, so I was pretty excited today. One of the things that Sword and I want to build as soon as possible is a giant wall that will go around our village. We should have done this a while ago, but it's better late than never. Every 100 days world needs a wall. But we didn't just want to put a fence around this, we wanted a nice large wall that we could stand on to shoot enemies over. This way we could start raids and have height advantage on them. After a day of picking out some designs, we ultimately decided on this one. But we would need some dark oak wood, so on day 107, we both left to find a dark oak forest. We went opposite directions with our elytras. I was flying for a long time, and then noticed my elytra was starting to break. So I landed to kill some animals and get coal to repair it. Finally, on day 108, I found a forest. I chopped wood for a little while, but I didn't notice until now that my axe was almost broken. So I didn't have much durability. I chopped as much wood as I could while repairing it, and I was only able to get about 3 stacks. And then on day 111, I headed home. It took me a long time to get home because I couldn't really use my elytra. It was pretty much broken. Finally, on day 112, I made it home. All of my tools and my elytra were pretty much broken, so I did a bunch of trading with villagers to get XP. By now, we had been filming for quite a few hours, and day 113 was spent taking a pasta break. Yes, I was just kind of AFK today eating some pasta. Then on day 114, it was back to work. We started building the wall. Sword went around and did the outline while I was traveling home yesterday and eating pasta, and I had the job of doing the stone. This took a really long time. We were doing this until day 119, but we really added in this cool design with some walls and stairs, and I am just in love with it. Finally, by day 120, we finished the wall. Flying over it was so exciting. We love this design. It also suits the village perfectly, and it will definitely help us defend ourselves from enemies. I also noticed that my shovel isn't enchanted, so I made a new one and enchanted it today. I got some really great enchants. I still had a lot of broken tools. So on day 121, Sword and I went down into this giant cave room and killed a bunch of mobs. He actually found a slime, which might come in handy later on. After killing some of those mobs, I went down further into our mine and noticed that we had a skeleton spawner. I wasted no time in making this skeleton farm. It was very basic, don't get me wrong. I basically just had some water pushing the skeletons toward where I was standing and then just killed them. But it works. And on day 122, I spent some time making some rockets because my elytra uses a lot of them. And then I went back down to the skeleton farm to get XP to repair the elytra. And by the end of the day, I had enough XP and it was pretty much fully repaired. My elytra was breaking so fast because I don't have unbreaking on it. So today I got a few unbreaking 3 books and golden carrots and random things. While I was doing all of this and making the skeleton farm, Sword was over at the pillager tower getting the bad omen effect, and he was flying back to the base to start our first raid of the video. This raid was super intense. If you guys don't know, last video we found out that there is a level 5 raid that we can get. So today we did a level 5 raid. This is so intense, and luckily we had our wall. It gave us a height advantage and we were able to bow most of our enemies. But when the Vex spawned in, they started knocking us off the tower. Sword got unbelievably close to dying. He was just swarmed by enemies. He actually ended up using one of his totems of undying, and luckily he was able to pearl back over the wall to safety. I also got really close to death at one point. I had a little bit less than half of my health, and I was freaking out. Luckily, Sword had my back, and I was able to eat a golden apple while he took some enemies away. On day 125, we completed the raid. This was a huge victory because of how dangerous this was. We had Hero of the Village 5. This is because we fought a level 5 raid, so we had insane discounts with our villagers. We did a bunch of trading and I made about 3 stacks of emeralds. I also got all of my tools repaired because of how much XP I get from the villagers. We wanted to upgrade our beacon to a level 4 beacon at some time before 200 days, so I added in some blocks of emeralds to the beacon. And after Sword added some in, we had a level 3 beacon. This was so exciting. Sword and I lose villagers a lot, and today we noticed that there were some villagers hiding in the corner of this bookshelf. There were 4 of them in here. Yes, 4 villagers in a 1x1 space. I don't know why they jumped in this pit. But of course, we set them free, and watch further into the video to see where they end up in a few days. Although we finished our wall, we wanted to add the design that we had on the outside of the wall to the inside. So that's what we did on day 126. This wall is pretty large. It covers a lot of area. We had to do this detailing all around the wall, so it took both of day 126 and 127. Sword also came up with this cool idea to do on the top of the wall, and it takes a lot of dark oak wood. So of course we had to go to the dark oak forest to get some wood. We both got around 10 or 11 stacks of logs before we headed home. And then on day 130, we were both doing the top of the wall. Hopefully this way, Vex won't be able to knock us off the wall when we're doing some raids. The stone walls should really give us some protection against arrows and Vexes and everything else. Once we finished this, I decided to make some bread and got the villagers to breed. I want more villagers so that I can have more Fletchers and make more emeralds, because I really want a tier 4 beacon. And on day 131, I continued with getting food for the villagers. I was pretty much farming carrots and farming wheat to make into bread and putting it in the dispenser and feeding all the villagers. On day 132, Sword saw a cat and put it in a boat and started beating him. I had a single fish and I tried to tame the cat, but he didn't want my fish. So I let Sword deal with him. Then I was trying to move this baby villager for a really long time. He kept getting away. It was driving me insane. Eventually, I thought I put him in the Fletcher area, but he actually got away, and he was nowhere to be seen. So I grabbed 3 other baby villagers and moved them over to the Fletcher area. I also put torches all around our land and did a little bit of terraforming today. Then the next few days were spent building a villager house upgrade for the Fletchers. Like I said, these are our most prized villagers. We make all of our emeralds from these Fletchers, and they kind of just live in this hut. So I wanted to make them a nice house. So I got to work. I went with some kind of strange design. I really don't know how I feel about this. It's kind of like a cobblestone tent kind of thing. I really don't know what I did here, but I kind of like it. I also added in some mossy cobblestone and some andesite for a little bit of texturing. And then I slowly moved all the villagers in, and they actually love their new house, I must say. The morning of day 136, I was kind of just running around the desert. I have no idea what I was doing. Sometimes watching back on the footage, I am like, what happened here? Then I decided to go mining for some iron because I need an anvil if I want to put unbreaking on my elytra and looting on my sword. So as I was mining, I found a giant cave and there was a slime in there, which was pretty cool. So I did kill him. And then a creeper exploded right next to me and I got really nervous, but luckily it didn't get me too low. On day 137, I was still mining and I found this really cool underwater cave. The 1.17 snapshots are insanely cool. You guys have to try them. Then after I got a ton of iron, I was heading back to my base and found an amethyst cave. I found one of these in the last 100 days and I just have to say, these are so cool. I'm obsessed with these. Of course, I grabbed some amethyst blocks, and there were also 2 other blocks that were surrounding here that I grabbed a little bit of. They reminded me of coral. Then, later that night, I made it back to my base. On day 138, Sword and I left to go find some bastions in the Nether. And when we entered the Nether, we found all of our lost villagers. This was kind of insane. Do you guys remember the villagers we found a little while ago? Yeah, they had moved into the Nether. They were just chilling in here. We decided to let them live their happy lives out in the Nether, and we went looking for a bastion. Together we found a pretty small bastion, and it didn't have too much loot. But we were able to get some iron and gold. Luckily, I didn't have to fight any pigman brutes, but Sword did. I totally didn't make him do all the work. Then later that day, we decided to split up. We both wanted to find our own bastion, and while I was mining through some walls, I almost died in lava. This was terrifying, and I was actually freaking out. You can see how many rockets I used here. I honestly don't know how I made it alive out of this one. Then I found a bastion. This thing was massive. This is one of the largest ones I have ever come across. I started to grab a little bit of loot, nothing too crazy, and then I started towering up to the treasure room. I took an insane amount of damage from these brutes. And I decided to block myself up. As I was blocked in and thinking a little bit, I decided this probably isn't worth it, and I actually decided to leave the Nether. I know, I'm not a daredevil, but I do like to keep it safe because if one of us dies, this world is over. So the next few days were spent traveling home, and because I was unbelievably low on firework rockets, I had to run. This took way too long, but finally on day 144, I made it home. And to relax a little bit from all of that stressful Nether adventuring, I traded with my villagers and did some farming. This is the best part of Minecraft, I'm telling you guys right now. Trading with villagers also repaired all of my tools and armor. Sword and I have a lot of belongings, and we decided that we kind of want a joint area to store all of them. So on day 145, Sword got to work on building a storage unit. He did most of the work. He designed it and built up all the walls. All I did was do the flooring. And then Sword left the roof up to me. I tried way too many designs. I am very indecisive. But eventually, I decided on this design for the roof. And of course, I didn't have enough of this deep slate. I worked on the roof for a little bit while Sword was moving in some of our items. Honestly, this isn't my favorite roof that I've done, but it'll do. After building the roof for a while, I got a little distracted by this beautiful sunset. Then on day 151, I was back to work. I moved some more items in that we had. Sword did a really cool design. I love the barrels and item frames, it's really cool. After moving in some of my items, I was able to put unbreaking on my pickaxe and axe, because I finally had enough XP. Since I used all of my XP on these tools, I spent day 152 back down in the mines killing mobs. I also needed gunpowder from creepers, so this was really worth it. And then when I came back up to the surface, I spent the rest of the day farming sugarcane to craft rockets. On day 153, I went mining for deepslate for a build that I was expecting to take a lot of blocks, but it actually didn't. I was down here for a while mining blocks, and then when I came up, I started a creeper farm. You guys know how many rockets Sword and I go through, so we need loads of gunpowder. So today I started a creeper farm. And I was building this for quite a little while. Of course I had to use the deep slate bricks, they're literally so cool. This might be my new favorite block. Now if you guys didn't know, for a creeper farm to work you need cats. For whatever reason, creepers are terrified of cats. So today I was trying to get a fisherman villager to trade me buckets of fish, so that way I can tame a cat. Finally I got one that was offering me some cod in a bucket. And I bought a load of these, and I decided to make a fish pond for them. But I don't really know why I did this, because after I made this pond, I just decided to murder all of them. Don't worry, I'll make it up to the Fish Nation later on. Then day 156, I tamed the cat that Sword captured in the boat a few days back, and now I just need one more cat. I flew around and looked in a few villages for a cat, and eventually I found one. Oh, I also found these guys just straight chillin'. After getting the cat, I put them both in the farm. Comment down below what I should name these two cats. Today, I spent some time building the lava area where the creepers will die and the collection area with hoppers and chests. Finally, on day 158, I finished the creeper farm. I got bamboo for scaffolding because the farm needs to be AFK'd up high. And I built myself a little AFK platform. I spent the next 2 days AFKing the farm. And you might be wondering where Sword was this entire time. He was actually 60,000 blocks away. You guys will have to watch his video to see what he did. After AFKing, I checked the chest and there was no gunpowder, not one piece. As I was inspecting the farm to see what I had done wrong, I noticed I had torches in the farm. Why am I so dumb? After I fixed the farm, I spent another day AFKing properly. And I was able to get 15 gunpowder. I guess that's half decent. I also spent a little bit of time making the farm look a little bit nicer, but not that much nicer. It still looks pretty bad. Day 162, I did some trading with villagers to pass the time as I waited for Sword. The Fletcher house is so sick, I really do love how it came out. And today I did lots and lots of farming. After crafting some more rockets with the gunpowder I got, I flew pretty far away. I needed to get out of the base for a bit. Also, yes, Sword was still traveling home. I was excited to see the loot he was bringing back from all the bastions he had been raiding. I'm pretty sure he went through 10 or so bastions. I decided to land and chop down some trees. Of course spruce, because it's the best wood in the game. Then a group of pillagers showed up and I killed them and got the bad omen effect. I kind of forgot about this and was cutting wood until day 165. Then I saw Sword and gave him some rockets and we flew home together. Forgetting that I had the bad omen effect, we started a raid at our base. And we did the raid. It was pretty easy because it was just a tier 1 raid, and at this point, we were used to doing tier 5 raids. After we completed the raid, Sword showed me some of his loot that he got from the bastions, and I listened to Pigstep, which is by far the best music disc in the game. He gave me a load of ancient debris, and I smelted them, crafted ingots, and upgraded my leggings and pickaxe. I also did some organizing today and AFK'd the farm a bit. Day 167 was spent just farming and trading. All of the wood that I chopped down was crafted into sticks and made me loads of emeralds. I also had Hero of the Village, so we got a bit of a discount. Day 168, Sword and I wanted to do a farm, but we had to get some resources together. So today, I needed to get us some cobblestone. Believe it or not, Sword and I had like no cobblestone. In this snapshot, we are able to get all of our resources from running through caves. So today, I actually had to go mining. This creeper exploded outside of my house, and thankfully, he didn't destroy anything too important. Sword and I actually went back down to get some more deep slate today because we had been using so much of it, and we wanted to use it for this farm. Finally, on day 170, Sword and I built our auto redstone bamboo farm. We both have skyblock and factions backgrounds, so we knew exactly how to build one of these. We also set up a little hopper system with a mine cart, and it is super efficient. After trading with loads of villagers and getting a decent amount of emeralds, today I added in some emerald blocks into the beacon. We're getting closer and closer to a tier 4 beacon. For the rest of the day, I just kind of wandered around and tried to think of what my next build should be. I was thinking I wanted to build a starter house. Whenever I get really rich in a Minecraft world, I always want to go back to my roots and build a tiny little house. So I decided I wanted to build the cartographer villager a nice little house. I went to the Nether to get a bunch of quartz and also grabbed some gold while I was there. I was there for all of day 172. Then I came back to the overworld, crafted gold and then gold blocks, and I had quite a bit of quartz. Then I grabbed some jungle wood. I started building the cartographer's house. I wanted to go something that's a little bit more lighter in color. So I used quartz blocks and some jungle wood to give it a pinkish tint. I also got some granite and used a bunch of this. Then I added in a little bit of a path, and when Sword came back from the Nether, he gave me some more netherite ingots, and I was able to upgrade my boots and helmet. Finally, I finished the house. It was pretty basic. I actually didn't even furnish the inside of it, so poor Mr. Cartographer is in a bit of an empty house. While I was building this, Sword was in the Nether getting some wither skulls. So on day 179, we fought the wither in our rival village. Yes, this was a lot more difficult than fighting the wither underground, but we had to show these villagers who's boss. At first, the wither started flying away, but then, as he saw us shooting him with bows and arrows, he came right for us. And fighting him off wasn't too difficult of a task. After we killed the wither, we got another nether star. So we set up another beacon on the other side of our village. Sword got a comment in one of his last videos saying that we can get Bad Omen 6. And in order to get this, we need to kill 9 or 10 raid captains. So we headed to a pillager outpost to find some. As we were killing these raid captains, we were trying to figure out if we should start the raid at our village or the rival village. Sword actually flipped a coin to see which village we should do it at, and of course ours won. While we were looking for these raid captains, there was like none spawning. So Sword told me to go out to look for another pillager outpost to get some more captains, and I totally didn't do that. I basically flew around and found a hidden desert temple that wasn't raided. Of course, I went right in and got a Curse of Vanishing book. Wow, how useful. I also grabbed this gunpowder because I can make it into rockets. Then I got a Power 5 book. My bow is only Power 4, so I could use this, but I decided to gift it to Sword for all the netherite he's gotten me. Day 182, we were still trying to get Bad Omen 6. We were reading all over the Minecraft wiki, and we were really confused on how to get it. Finally, we got the effect, and we headed back to our village. The raid was really tough. Both of us almost died quite a few times. It was really, really difficult. I think the hardest part are these Vexes, because in a tier 6 raid, they have enchanted swords, meaning they do a lot more damage. After we completed the raid, we got Hero of the Village, and we made a bunch of emeralds. Day 186 was an unfortunate day. This wandering trader decided to head into our village, and it was a very bad decision for him. We also wanted to get some more Fletcher villagers, because we always use up all of their trades. So today, I was shearing sheep for some beds and getting bread for the villagers to breed. Sword was really watching them here. This guy's kinda creepy. And we also spent some time making some more emeralds today. Of course, day 187 was spent trading with the villagers that we had just gotten and crafting emerald blocks. We also had to remember Stewart and Stewie today by making a bird grave. If you guys don't know who these lovely feathered friends are, go check out Sword's video. And just when we were finishing up the funeral, we thought we heard tweeting. So we came to this underground tunnel that Sword had built in the beginning of this world and found Stewart. He had been here for 170 days. This was literally so insane. Sword and I were freaking out in the call we were in. We decided that we wanted to give Stewart the best life possible. So I actually made him a throne and declared him king of our village. I also started a new build, a fish pond. I decided it was only right for all the fish I had killed back a few days ago. And Sword has lots of pet parrots, and I needed someone to keep me company. So I got some fish. Day 189 was a dance party. Sword put on pig step for his parrots and they were kind of dancing. It was pretty much a vibe. I also got a new pet cat today. Comment down below what I should name him. The next few days, I actually don't really know what I did. I did a bit of farming and flying around our village to admire what we have done. And of course, I traded with some villagers and tried to plan out some builds that I might do in 300 days. If you guys want to see the 300 days video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment that you want to see it. If this video gets 30,000 likes, we will be making a sequel. Day 193, I decided to go mining. So I went out looking for a cave and just kind of went around getting coal, iron, lapis, redstone, and anything else. The next few days of this world were spent building the villagers a village. Not just any villagers, our Nether villagers. I spent a few days getting netherrack and then started building some houses. Honestly, I wish I had more time to build this village up a little bit more. So we might be doing this in 300 days. On day 199, I went back to the overworld to see what Sword had built. He built another really cool village. His looks a lot better than mine. We spent our last day of this world just kind of flying around and messing about. And that is how we survived 200 days in a hardcore Minecraft 1.17 duos world. If you guys would like to play hardcore Minecraft with your friends, make sure to check out the link down below in the description. If you use my code GUILTY on MC Pro Hosting's website, you can get 25% off of your order. And MC Pro Hosting also offers free trials, so make sure to give it a try. Thank you guys so much for 70,000 subscribers, and let's get to 100,000 this year.